so cozy. I'm Nicole. I'm the founder and CEO of Darn Good Yarn. We started in 2008, and then I got you on the boat with an ultimatum 4 years ago. Yeah, I was pretty much like, quit your job and come work for me or else, which is always good for marital bliss. Yeah. And Allie, who are you?
I'm Allie, and I do a lot of different things. I do some social media stuff. I'm here in this video. I love yarn. I'm crocheting right now.
To introduce myself, what I am. And I'm knitting a scarf for Anna. It's been in the making for like years. But I'm working on it. I learned how to make dish rags, and this is just an advanced dish rag.
Anna is our 6-year-old daughter. She was 3 when Mike started.
On Instagram and Facebook, and I asked for some questions that people had for Nicole, but we also have Mike here as well.
So what we want to do with this, we're gonna, it's, what is it, 11:30 right now?
Yeah.
So we're drinking at 11:31. But this is pretty much like our little 10 minutes of fun to like have you see behind the scenes. So when Allie asks again for more questions, we want more questions, because this is gonna be our silly time where I think we just get kind of drunk on a Friday and we find out each other's deep, dark crafting secrets.
All right, I'm gonna ease you into the questions. Kind of just, you know, a good silly one. Since we have some wine on the table, red or white wine?
White, because I'm 40 years old and I can't do red wine anymore.
Red, because I'm 39 years old and I can still do red wine.
And I can only drink Moscato, which is a white wine, but it's like the fruity, like, college level one.
I was just gonna say, damn 20-year-olds.
Yeah, it's so sugary though.
It's like syrup, isn't it?
Yeah, but it'll give you the worst headache the next day. Kind of embarrassing when you go to a restaurant and you're like, oh, can I have some Moscato, please?
It sounds fancy though.
It does, but people know.
Yeah.
Yeah. He needs my help.
This is Ripley.
Hey, Ripley.
And he's about 3 years old. His birthday
No, he's 4 now, because we
Yes.
said his birthday's on
Thanksgiving.
He was a rescue. He was a stray in Houston, Texas, and we had a really amazing, if anyone is interested in working with a really great rescue down there, let us know and we can leave it in the comments. But Ripley is, you know, a sweet little guy.
He's tiny.
He thinks he's a cat.
Next question is from somebody on Facebook.
Ooh!
I'll keep everyone anonymous since I didn't explicitly ask for permission, so I don't want to like call anybody out. But has Darn Good Yarn considered selling spools of thread that is used to sew the skirts? I'd love to purchase some for making repairs and reconfiguring skirts.
Ooh, that's a really good idea. We used to carry, it's so funny this question, because I was going through Dropbox last night. Our Dropbox is where we keep all of our like years and years and years of pictures, and I had found we used to carry a thread made out of recycled silk. It's the same base as our lace weight yarn. And I was like, man, we should bring that back again, because I had this amazing fiber artist in Sweden make crocheted flowers, and she made this whole, they're freaking beautiful. I'll show them to you. But yes, short answer is we can do that. Long answer is it's going to take some time, probably like mid-year, because I have to get everything resampled.
Next question is, what is your favorite type of yarn to work with?
Oh, it's the ribbon. I don't know why I like hesitate there, because like anything I reach for, I'm lazy. So this is what happens. I'm like, I'm gonna craft and I'm gonna drink at the same time, and I just wind up drinking. So, the ribbon kind of makes me feel like a superhero, because I can make things very quickly with it. What about you?
I'm still learning. I've got a very limited experience base with yarns that I like to use. So.
I'll jump in. I love like chunky, thick yarn. Not like overly thick, but like a good wool.
Yes.
That's one of my favorites. Is another question, which I thought was really cool, from Facebook.
Ooh.
So how many children, both boys and girls, are going to school because they have a parent working to make Darn Good Yarn products? Do you know the answer to that?
Oh, how many? Yes. So we have, at any given time, we have 600 workers between India and Nepal that are making our products. So a lot of times you'll have families that are working together, so mom and dad. So I would say, I don't have an exact, this is just an estimate, But I would say that's probably a minimum of 1-to-1, so at least 600, because many families have multiple children. And I can tell you that that number is higher than that. I just want to be conservative in that estimate.
I think this next question is a great segue from there. So the question was, again from Facebook, is how often have you visited your artisans in India and Nepal, and how do you ensure that they have good working conditions as well as sufficient supplies and equipment they need to make Darn Good Yarn's beautiful products?
So I haven't been to India since before COVID, when I had my daughter, and I breastfed her for a really long time, so it made travel not logistically feasible. Because I personally couldn't strap her on and like hop on the plane and do that. And she wouldn't take a bottle, so she was off the tap for 2.5 years. So yeah, I haven't been there since before COVID, but my suppliers and like my Nicoles, I call them, who are small business owners in India and Nepal, I've worked with them for over a decade, like my best suppliers. So we've already established this very tight network. It's not like we're changing out and working with new people all the time. We're working with the tried and true, and they've built their businesses around us, and we've built our businesses around them. So like even going through COVID, you know, we're so lucky to have Skype and things like that. But I've been on the ground, you know, for verification, but then too is like when they needed help during COVID, because if you remember, India especially got a second really hard wave, and their government in some cases really left them high and dry. We were able to ship PPE back to them that we had. So I think it was like 2 pallets worth of PPE that we shipped out. Just because some of the places in the country, I mean, like we felt it right in our country too, like there are parts of, like with COVID, the big cities got a lot of help, and I would say some of the more rural communities didn't necessarily get as much help just because of, you know, population density, and so that's where a lot of our co-ops are located. So we were able to help backfill that. So while I'm not on the ground like all of the time, again, like working with these people that have been really part of our business family for over a decade is what makes the difference.
Next question is, when did you learn how to knit / crochet, and who taught you, or did you teach yourself?
Yes, because I've been doing all the talking, and I've been talking about serious stuff.
Yeah, no, I learned how to knit about 3 years ago. I started with dish rags, and Nicole kindly taught me how to do it. And I'm currently knitting Continental, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's faster, I think.
Uh-huh.
And I'm a little rusty on the knitting side. I'm just getting back into it, so been doing some woodworking. Cutting boards, hinge boxes, what else? Mallets. No. What about you, Allie? When did you start knitting and crocheting? Have you done both?
Yes, so I can do both. My preferred route is crocheting. I learned how to knit when I was 7 years old. I was in the knitting club in my elementary school. That was a thing that we had, which was awesome. It was like, honestly, it was my favorite thing because I got to like get out of class for an hour a day to just go like sit with the lunch lady who's the one who like ran the knitting club, and like a couple of other kids, and we would just sit and knit and we'd talk. And it was awesome. And then when I got a little bit older, I think I was 10, my grandmother taught me how to crochet. And that's when I made my first Afghan.
You made your first project was an Afghan?
Yeah. I don't know how to do anything normally. It's either go big or go home. And then ever since then,
But how old were you? I'm sorry.
10.
10, and you made your first Afghan?
Yeah. It took like a couple months, but I did it. And I've made several since.
I'm working on it. I made dish rags, everybody.
That is very, very impressive.
Another question. We've been on that one for a hot minute.
We're gonna have a lot of content here, you guys. Did you do it again?
Yeah.
Alright, so this one's kind of silly, but I think it's a very polarizing argument.
Oh.
Is soft shell or hard shell tacos?
Oh man. Hard shell.
No way. The soft shells we just got from Whole Foods were like the bomb. They were orgasmatron.
Yeah, soft shell tacos. All day, I think. How about you?
I'm hard shell taco.
Oh, weird. You have to try these soft shells though. I'll make you a believer. What were they? They were corn Were they corn
I
tortillas?
don't have the packaging on me, but.
Oh God, Mike, what are you good for?
Just pull the packaging right out of your ass.
It's right here.
What is your favorite band or bands to craft to? This is actually from Kevin. Shout out to
Kevin! Hi! There you go.
Thank you.
Who do you like to craft to?
Ooh, boy.
Who do you like to craft to?
So I have a very diverse music taste. I love the band Camp.
What kind of music is that?
It's like folky.
It's like Lumineers.
Yeah, they actually went on tour with the Lumineers, and I saw them at that concert.
So everyone looks like Civil War reenactors.
No, stop. I like
No.
I like the Lumineers.
I know you do. I'm gonna make fun of you too.
The Lumineers are really good live, I will say.
Mumford & Sons, Lumineers, Dispatch. Take it all.
I also have been really enjoying the band Ghost. It's in the category, the genres that Google gives me for Ghost are heavy metal, psychedelic rock, and alternative indie.
Okay, I actually can get into that. What do you listen to when you?
Mike Snow.
Yeah, actually, you do listen to Mike Snow.
That goes a long ways because that's my name too.
We are back in action. The camera died, but we brought it back to life.
Resuscitation.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, alright, so we were just talking about the band Ghost, and I played a song.
And it was cool.
It was cool, so definitely check out Ghost. Also, definitely check out Camp.
So you like listening to Mike Snow?
No, I was just saying that because it's
Cool thing to
dual
say.
purpose. Yeah, because I can listen to myself.
And the Lumineers.
Yeah. Mumford & Sons.
Kevin, for you, I listen to Bjork. Thank you.
Florence and the Machine.
Florence and the Machine. Oh my God.
Yes.
Hosier.
Lot of Florence and the Machine.
Hosier's cool too.
And a lot of EDM.
Vance
Like
Troy.
Sophie Tucker. Oh my God. Yes. Forever. All right, what's the next question?
Alright, next question is, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live and why? So if I could live anywhere in the world, I would probably pick New Zealand.
Oh, is that what you were gonna say?
No, I've got a good answer.
Because I just like think there's a lot of really cool landscapes out there, and I just want to sit and paint the landscapes.
It's on my bucket list.
It's just a beautiful place, so that's why it appeals so much.
I don't have one.
I would live on a cruise ship that goes around the world.
I was gonna say that.
I feel like that's cheating the
Sorry,
question,
yeah,
though.
it's like everywhere, right? That's like
I
saying
was
everywhere.
literally gonna say that though.
You gotta pick one place.
One place.
One place.
One
You
place.
took New Zealand.
I mean, we can just
No,
both
no.
agree on New Zealand.
Well,
it's a pretty cool spot.
Well, I've never been. I've been to Montana.
Wait, am I going with you?
You
Montana.
don't have to. Yeah,
Oh.
no, on a river in Montana would be nice.
Alright, Nicole, where would you live?
I would probably live, I think, somewhere in South America. Because, no, I haven't been to South America. But,
Well, nobody else knew that answer.
I'm sorry.
but
Yeah, I brought that
the
up.
yarn scene is cool, the textile scene is cool. To your point, like the landscapes are badass from at least what Anthony Bourdain has showed me. And the food and the wine, and it's like there's some really tropical places it seems, but like even Uruguay, did you screw up again?
No,
Like
good.
seems really like, I would love to chill there. Like I could see myself settling down there.
You should go visit first.
We can go
Yeah.
next year.
Alright.
Yeah,
Awesome.
cool.
Alright, we're gonna do another slightly more serious question. I've given you
we need some funny questions.
I've given you a break for a little bit, cut me some slack.
Music, where you live, those are good places.
I'll give you a break after this one.
Fine.
Alright, so what are your thoughts on the current sustainability efforts in the crafting world? And can we be doing better? Should we be doing better?
Okay, I got this one. I got it. Got it. Cola, me. All right, so here's how I feel about the crafting world. Here we go. I'm about to piss a whole bunch of people off.
Don't do it. Okay, go ahead.
This is like all I'm known for is pissing people off.
You
Anyway,
pissed me off
so
Not yet.
Obviously I think small businesses lead the way in charge on this, as they have in any case where you look at parts of the economy. If you look at like why Whole Foods actually exists, It's because there were some hippie mamas back in the day that had their commune and then they sold their organic produce and then. So it started at this really grassroots sort of level, and now you get to have organic produce, you know, at your local grocery store, and like farm to table is a thing. And then you get people like, who's the guy that wrote Omnivore's Dilemma? Michael Pollan? No, I'm thinking your last name.
I was like, oh.
No, it's like very similar to your last name. I forgot his last name. But anyway, he wrote Omnivore's Dilemma. That comes to like, you know, bring the full farm to table movement into full swing, right? When it comes to the crafting movement, I think if you go into a big box store, for the most part, you will find what I call barnacles on fast fashion there. And what I mean by that is when you look at fast fashion and how shitty that is for the environment and the sustainability, like, they don't give two shits. And they do these fake things like, oh, we care about, Mike's trying to like shush me, but like, no.
No, I'm trying to not say shit because I screwed up my head.
Oh, okay. Sorry. But no, like seriously, I think these large companies, like, there's a good intention, but they don't know how to carry it out. And it is up to the small makers of the world and the small businesses like ours. I mean, we have less than 20 people that work for us, where we can really control what is going into our products, where they're being sourced from. And we're not in for every single dollar. Like, we're not feeding some rich CEOs like stock options somewhere. It's like literally not that at all. At all. I drive an 11-year-old car with 100,000 miles on it. But I think it's more the opportunity in the craft space is for people to get back to the roots and origins of why crafts exist. And originally it was to remake, like the idea of like visible mending. I'm in fucking love with that craft because it gets back to the roots of what crafting is about. Do you think people who were like in covered wagons going on the Oregon Trail were like quilting because it was the cute thing to do and they picked stuff up at Michael's? It's like, no, they literally were doing that because they had scraps of scraps and they were layering them on top of each other.
I thought they had Instagram.
Oh yeah, they did have Instagram on Oregon Trail, and then you died of dysentery. And so, did you ever play Oregon Trail?
I did not. That was before my time.
Yeah, any Oregon Trail people out there, give us a like because I just need to not feel old for a hot second. But I think the opportunity though stands that there's a huge upside potential in the crafting and making realm. I think once people start to say, you know what, just like we did with food, like your ingredients matter, like organic is important, I think we're gonna start to get back to, and I hope we do, we get back to where our ingredients for our projects come from. Like how that sheep was sheared is really fucking important. And if it wasn't humanely done, like you kind of have blood on your hands and you need to know that as a consumer. And so I think more transparency in this industry is needed. And like, just because it's a hobby for a lot of us, some of us make our livelihoods off of it, it doesn't give us the excuse to have a blind eye to transparency in the supply chain. And I think that's why like I do get like super serious about it, like why I've been doing this for 14 years, like not only from the fair trade side, because that will just come alongside of it as well, but it's also the idea that you can take things that are just in the waste stream, you know, from manufacturing clothing. I mean, this is stuff that will just happen. It will always be there for a long time at least. And if we can then take our craftiness of what crafters are known for, reusing and reusing and reusing. I mean, all of us out there have definitely made our own vinegar mix to clean our counters. Like, we're crafty. If we can then take that and how we're sourcing the very materials that we're using to do our hobby and really blow that up and be more thoughtful about that, I mean, that's how we're gonna change the industry. So then hopefully one day, and my goal is, just like you have Whole Foods, is like your place where you get all your organic, like crunchy, weird shit, right? Like Darn Good Yarn is like that same kind of center where we're on a global scale getting these really thoughtfully sourced crafting materials. Because I mean, crafting is like, it's so important. Think about every single day, all we do is we touch inorganic materials. It's like, this is important to us as humans. When technology has developed so fast, this is the one thing that grounds us back. I mean, to me, crafting, eating, like those are all like, of course you have to eat and drink water. But I think that part of creating though, and I think, you know, for me, not to be sexist, but like especially for women, is like, is critical to who we are. And it's important to not like forget the things that make us human. Like, we're not robots yet. And crafting is one of those things that like help us settle down and stop the day, you know? So that's my big soapbox. Now you all know how I feel about that.
You can do a cool robot impression.
You can if you want.
No.
You can. That was a very serious question, and I appreciate it. And I didn't need to get super crazy about it.
It's a good question. I mean, I always just like say when it comes to stuff like just look out for greenwashing. Dude, that's like a big tactic. Is like, especially now, people are like marketing stuff is like, oh, this is the better option for the environment.
Right.
But they just changed the packaging, which like makes me upset. It really does. But that was a great answer.
I'm missing my call, so in 6 minutes I have to drop.
Okay, 6 minutes for your call.
I was supposed to be on the call like 10 minutes ago.
Oh.
Hey, I thought it was at 12:30.
I thought it was 2, but it was at 12:15.
Why do you do this to us?
I don't fucking know.
Nicole.
I'm sorry.
All right.
We're fine. All right, everyone. Thank you. Mwah. Bye.
Till next Friday.